Yes, yes, yes. All right. Looks like everything is order. Ladies and gentle Buccaneers, it seems like Orlando Pirates is not resting like the fixture list at the moment. There are things that are happening. Lots to talk about. A couple of things that are happening in the transfer places of the footballs of the people of themselves. Buccaneer Brief, all the latest Orlando Pirates news. You can see at the bottom strips there. There's a lot to talk about. How about I give the intro? We get into it. Mr. Coach has joined me. To Spin Buffet. It's a hola Buffet. How's everybody doing? I hope you guys are good. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Happy People TV Orlando Pirates fan channel. Yes, this is your transfer news and Orlando Pirates breaking what show, the Him show. I am your host KP and I am joined by Mr. Coach Zitinda Pomfetsu.
Hola Paganele kithi na ke mnate braya ka sa tsebo wena Pagane ekhaya sanibonana. I hope you all are doing great. Yeah, let's do this, man.
Yeah, Baba, yeah. We do indeed have things to talk about here. Andre De Jong. There were some rumors on deadline day. You know, we have our own deadline day here in Africa. So there were rumors on deadline day that he might be coming to Orlando Pirates. I don't know if you, as the viewer, might have heard of that, but yeah, it was rumors. People already had their opinions where he's gonna play, and I think that's why the poll question is even the way it is. Please don't forget to vote there. Where would you like to see him play if he does come to the club? But yeah, that's the one rumor. And then we've also had some news that there's a left back that Cape Town Spurs does not want to have to come to Orlando Pirates as a year. I don't know if it's they don't want him to come now or if they don't want him to come at all. But he has been training with our DDC. More on that later. I think I want to start with the De Jong news. Mr. Coach, let's hear what you have to say about this De Jong link.
Yeah. I actually think we had forgotten to. We didn't get a chance to cover it on deadline day, but join the group, Buffett. Whatever doesn't make it to the screens, I promise you, it's happening in there. So, click the link in the description. You'll find the group. And while you are there, we're on the road to 4,000 subscribers. Thank you to everybody who subscribed already. So please do your part as well. Click that little subscribe button. It costs 000. It's not even VAT rated.
Black
As
Friday
well as
special.
next. Arzameli like as well. Let's try to get the stream to 20 likes while on stream. And if you come afterwards, just close your eyes and press like nonetheless. Thank you in advance. Yeah, the De Jong news in Vetu. Interesting. It was quite interesting to see a deadline day in Vetu because I already had reservations. Apart from the play himself, I asked myself, how on earth is Stellenbosch gonna survive losing De Jong after having been stripped of so many players in recent seasons, recent years. So I wasn't too shocked that he didn't leave, but we did hear from the Stellenbosch CEO after the deal fell through, the clubs just did not reach an agreement, and 24 hours is not a long time for anybody to make an agreement. So I kind of understood. But the super journal himself, Mazola Molefe, did actually in January. And last night on Soccer Zone, Utlilona Vietaba, are Orlando Pirates are still full steam ahead. They plan to pursue him in the January window. So it means he's a very serious target. And you guys, those of you that follow the show, know my opinion on Mazola. I'm yet to see him lie. So I actually think this time around we might even get the deal over the line. Again, I don't know how Stellies are going to stomach that kind of a loss because they've been suffering this season, and De Jong has already been an important player. But this ain't the Stellies show, Dilanga Pagania. So I think he'll be an interesting addition. I think my biggest question, and it's there in the poll, I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts. Now, okay, views on Jail Mfethu. Uh,
Yeah.
should we get him Otlo Dlala guy? And if he does it actually mean we're going to lose somebody that position? Because I believe De Jong plays in the few positions that we are stacked in.
That's the thing.
Striker
Yeah.
and number 10. I showed it, to be honest, in terms of numbers at least, and
Ooh.
quality.
Yeah, I mean, you know what, nah? This is what I'm going to
Mm.
do. Especially because I think there's a bit of a lag in my camera, guys. I notice it. Please just bear with us. Apologies for that one. I'll sort it out for the next show, but I just noticed it now. You know what I want to do, nah? I want us to maybe talk about his profile, right? And you know me, I don't like talking without the visuals, whether I'm gonna use them or not. But yeah, striker / number 10, and I think it will also help with everybody who is trying to decide, which is part of us, where he should be playing. So, Mfethu, do you see him as what's his biggest strength? Okay, let's stop talking about he can play here, he can play there. What is his profile and what are his strengths?
Whew. A lot of people will describe him as clever. He's got a lot of tactical awareness from what I've picked up, in terms of where to be on the pitch at one point. Whether he's playing striker or number 10, he definitely adds a threat in front of goal. He's gotten goals from all positions. He can always create something. He's not a typical South African creative player in the sense where he will mine us with a very cheeky turn or whatnot, but he's got that European thing about him where he can do the simple stuff really, really, really well.
The basics.
He's a good player to play off of, that's for sure. Combination play.
Okay.
His hold-up play is very good if he's to play kind of like a striker position. His hold-up play is very good. Again, threat on goal, aerial ability. Onale, ngam describe, if I think about the number 10s we've had in the past, okay, difficult to think of one, to be completely honest, but he is not your typical number 10. He's a very technical player who will get all the important things right, the right pass, the timing of the pass, whether or not to shoot, decision making is quite good. So yeah, I guess I'm kind of struggling to profile him because he's a little different from our types of profiles.
What's about King? I'm looking at his heat map here for the season so far.
Small individual ability that he has that are very important.
No, thank you for that one. It actually helps me also formulate the way I think of him from what I've seen of him. Obviously, I'm not watching him week in, week out. Nah? Okay, with his heat map considered, it already screams out at you that he's everywhere, above the halfway line, below the halfway line, on the left-hand side, on the right-hand side, in the box, on the edge of the box. Funny enough, there's just a little bit of space, but this is just obviously just 12 games on this heat map where you can say, hooray, the number 10 position, or the number 10 position itself is where he's vacated some of the the heat of the heat map. But like I said, only 12 games in, 2 goals for the season so far, goal conversion of 20%, which actually isn't that bad. And if you guys want to see any other specific stats, maybe I can check for you. I'm just going to keep him over there on the screen. But anyway, De Jong, when I watch him, he looks like, he looks like a very good football player. He knows how to play football. What is he supposed to do on the pitch? That is actually up to his coach. That is absolutely up to the setup of the team and everything. And I have a feeling that when you're busy describing him, Honano, he reminds me of those players that back in the day, maybe let me say early 2000s of football, he could have even been a 6, actually. Yeah. So he's a good player. You need him in your team. What was that age again? How old is he?
No, I'm agreeing.
No, it's age. I'm just looking for
age. Is 28.
He's 28. He's got his experience. Just having him is just a bonus. So I think it's hard. It's gonna be hard for people to answer the poll because it's like, I mean, where do you actually put him? But obviously,
I don't know if you remember him now, not just because they're both from New Zealand. He reminds me of Jeremy Brockie. Now, before you bite my head off, I'm not saying he's that type of player. Jeremy Brockie was dangerous in front of goal. He was deadly.
Yeah.
He's not exactly like that, but all the individual attributes, they share them a lot. Like I'm saying, he's a goal mouth threat. Whether or not he's on the final ball, but he's a goal mouth threat for sure. And it really matters who you have playing ahead of him. I think he's a kind of player who'd thrive from a supporting striker kind of role, although he plays the 10 very well as well. But I'm saying he would thrive off of being that supplementary striker, if you will, who is not necessarily getting on the end of the move, but is always involved in the move type of thing.
Yeah. Very interesting, man. Very interesting. I feel like it causes a lot of meat for discourse, actually. So I think, do you have anything else you want to touch on in terms of the move, the likelihood, whether we should get him, whether we should be spending that money elsewhere? How's his contract, if you know?
I don't recall, actually. I don't want to lie. I think he had a year left on his contract, but if that were the case, we'd probably get him on a pre-contract. They haven't mentioned, so I think he probably has at least 2 years based on the fact that he's not signing a pre-contract in January. The only thing I would add is bring him in, bro. Bring him in. I think of him a lot as a striker. I think it's great that he's versatile because I like to think of him as a striker and as a 10, if you will. And if I'm thinking about a striking department, yes, we've gotten some goals in recent times. I don't know if we're going to keep Mabasa much longer. I hate to say it, but it's just, it's hard for me to be convinced that he's a huge part of the coach's plans.
That's where I'll start fighting, actually, by the way. But you
Sure.
can finish yourself. You can finish.
Yeah, he might be part of the plans overall, but I don't think he's a pivotal part of those plans. So maybe we must think of a future that Mabasa. It's not looking good for the radio man either. I don't know what it would take for him to play again, type of thing. Although he's just come back from injury, but now Mbutu must got his scoring boots on. Mahopas definitely doesn't have to prove anything. Mahopas will always be part of the squad. So basically, Mabasa and Radio Ban would be fighting for third choice, which is difficult. Now, I do think De Jong would be a little excessive if we aren't playing Champions League football, but why not? To bring in the quality. This is a model plan.
Well then, Mr. Coach, look, let's do it like this. We'll this conversation is a little bit more extensive, but let's go like this. Let's summarize the deal. Both clubs want the move. Pirates want De Jong. Stellenbosch want to sell De Jong. It was such a big thing on deadline day because what I just said now is the truth. It's just that they didn't have enough time to dot the I's and cross the T's. And so
get a replacement for him.
And get a replacement for him. And so it's basically a done deal. We can start putting him in our squads for next season. Okay, cool. All right. No, maybe we'll see if we have enough time after the next story for more opinions. Guys, you also can put in your opinion in the chat whether you'd like him as a striker, as a number 10. How do you really see him fitting into the squad? So yeah, Cape Town Spurs, Reece Braithwaite. Let me read what's popping. So Cape Town Spurs, this is coming from SABC Sport, and this is how it reads. Cape Town Spurs block Reece Braithwaite move to Orlando Pirates. SABC Sport has established that Cape Town Spurs are facing yet another player-related dispute, this time over their own defender, Reece Braithwaite, requesting for a clearance to join Orlando Pirates following their relegation to the Municipal League and the shift to amateur status. Spurs have been entangled in multiple legal battles of a similar nature. The wider football community believed the club finally accepted that several contracted players could leave as free agents after losing high-profile cases at both the PSL Dispute Resolution Chamber which is called DRC, and a subsequent SAFA arbitration. But the saga appears to have continued for more players. A new matter now centers on 20-year-old Reece Braithwaite, who recently has been seen training with the Pirates reserve team. Spurs have remained bruised from watching Kaizer Chiefs, Chipa, and Amazulu scoop up academy, raised talent amongst them, Captain Asanele Velepai, without any compensation to date. That's sore. Although the mother body dismissed the grievance in arbitration, Spurs are still holding off on granting Braithwaite his release, slowing down what appears to be an inevitable move to Buccaneer. It is understood that the player's family has urged the club to resolve the issue as quickly as possible, but Spurs have instead referred to Braithwaite, or has referred Braithwaite to the legal representatives and his management team. Football First. Oh man, that sucks. CEO Alex F. Statiu. Yeah, that's a difficult surname. Alexi, CEO, has declined to comment. And so Braithwaite has been training with the DDC team, Buccaneer, for several weeks, but it remains unavailable. He remains unavailable for selection until Spurs issue his clearance. So they're saying he remains unavailable for us. Basically. When it comes to unavailable for Spurs, that's out of the window. Okay, Fade. The youngster has reportedly made his intentions
he flew
clear.
Back home,
I guess so, Okay, I get it. Yeah, the youngster has reportedly made his intentions clear that he wants out of Ikamba. Whoa. That is I mean, I guess it has reached this side of Soweto. Spurs, and man, doesn't it suck when that happens to clubs? Didn't they know, bro? If you get relegated, this is exactly what's gonna happen. But before we get into too many opinions, let's go through the due diligence of the validity of the story and how far you think this deal is and how do you think it'll go.
I think it was William Nyandu of SABC Sport, another very reliable journalist who broke the news. Either him or Mazola, like a shop, one of the two.
It's actually Mazola, and on the 15th, yes.
Yeah, not so long. In fact, that's when this article came out, but I think it was even a week or two ago when the news first came about. So validity, I think he's imminent. You look at the likes of Velebai and Luke Batman, who went through the exact same thing, are now Chiefs players. And the one Amazon, I forgot his name. So it's just a matter of time. They're just dragging their feet. Clearly, legally, they have no leg to stand on. The Bahana acceptor, which kind of brings me into my opinion. I'm really disappointed in Cape Town Spurs, bro. A very strong development structure. Let's not forget that's Ajax Cape Town under a new name. So they obviously passed down
one of the best, yeah,
and structure and everything. First of all, I'll go back to Velebai. Chiefs was willing to pay, I think it was 6 or 7 million that they had bid for Velebai, who had just been relegated from the PSL. And the owner or the CEO came on to speak to, I think it was on Anila's show actually, and he was like, no, we know how much it costs to develop this player, and because of that reason, we're going to demand what we want, which we believe is 10 million. And now they walked away with nothing. And I imagine there were many players in the Cape Town Spurs squad that played in the PSL that went down into the Komvela Mtsepe Foundation, who were dejected, who weren't as motivated to come to training to play because they had moves blocked, and that led to their subsequent relegation further down into APC Mutsepe, formerly Vodacom. I just love using those old names, by the way. It just tells you how old I am. But going down to to those lower leagues.
Yeah.
And it's clear, too. Once you're down there, you're not a PSL player anymore. You're an amateur. And they could have cashed in, I would say, a good 20 million for all these players. If I know they probably would have cried, but it's not enough.
And yes, there's
But
this
now
thing
that they're going to
where
get
when it comes to accounting and the books, I don't know if it works the same in our structures here. When you sell somebody without having bought them, right? Does it not work out better for profit?
Yeah.
So it's like this thing of holding on to your
Pure
academy
profit,
players. Angazi,
Yeah.
you obviously want to hold on to your academy players, but they would have known. They should have known. Yeah. You got that? Okay, Mr. Coach seems to have lost me. Calvin, thank you for the comment there. We don't need this guy unless Mabasa is leaving. We need Zazmovic, who used to play for TS Galaxy. Okay, cool. So basically, you're clearly seeing him as a striker more than anything, and that I do understand. Yeah, I mean, you know what, ne? He's already here. De Jong is already here. So now we should look around the pitch and say, okay, where are the holes? I personally wouldn't like him as a striker. Not to say I wouldn't like him as a player. I love him as a player. I wouldn't want him as a striker specifically. But it's a lot of thinking that you'd need to do for De Jong. But and you know what? He's probably one of those people that you will see him play one position today, another position tomorrow. Maybe somebody gets injured, he replaces them. So I think he himself will never be tied down to a position. And more over and above choosing him for the purpose of filling in spots, like for example, like you're saying, if Mabasa leaves, Fede, then you buy him for that. But even if Mabasa doesn't leave, have him in the squad for those during the season issues that might come up, especially if the deal is already done. There's no reason to cry. Mr. Coach, your final verdict on the De Jong thing.
Yeah, and yeah, I'm fair to, like I said, bring him in, bro. Earlier on I spoke, especially at when it broke on deadline day, Nagi say, oh lala guy. But obviously we've seen more games. And you raise a very valid point, Jahore. This is assuming that, God forbid, between Tito and Mufokeng and Mabasa and Mbutuma and even Mahopa don't get an injury. And if we do get an injury in those key positions, it would be great to bring on a player as versatile as he is. And also, it's a long season. After a while, teams are going to know how we play and how we set up. It's going to be a little bit more difficult to create chances and get goals. And bringing on a player with a different profile gives us that much more tactically.
True that. And then also...
you know what? I think maybe even the coach wants him. That would actually make complete sense if we're still in pursuit of his...
Okay, cool. Yeah. No, true that, because also now, if it was a late move and it's like, oh, you guys want this guy? Oh, okay, we don't have a replacement. Okay, maybe let's make it work in January. It does kind of sound more like something that was recognized after knowing the players, which is obviously what the coaching staff would do on some, you guys sure you don't need anything for the transfer? Well, there is this young guy, he could be useful. If you can get it done, sure. So if the coach wants him, obviously he's going to play and there is a plan for him. So I think that is a positive, very positive player to have, in my opinion. What I don't want to happen, now my worst nightmare is for him to be a replacement for somebody that in my humble opinion, I don't feel like that person needs replacing, something like that. You did mention the radio man not getting game time. You did mention Uti Mawasa. There are many question marks surrounding him. So we'll see. But Calvin came back. I don't want to lie. This guy won't bench Tito. At least Kwaiba can go, and we need the blonde striker from Lupopo. Ubatamukoko, he had to mention Mukoko. Thank you for the giggles there, Calvin. Yeah, I'm paid to. No, like right now, if I have to think about it, there isn't a player who is that versatile. The most versatile player I can think of right now, hopefully I'm not selling myself short here, is maybe Mbule, who can play in most places in midfield. When it comes to the attackers, it's either left or right. We've seen Moremi, as soon as he went to the left, he's stuck there. We've seen Apollos as soon as he basically... Apollos is one of our most versatile attackers, and obviously the president himself. But I think it'll be good for him. Like I said, if you just rewind a bit, you will see that heat map. That's only in 12 games. That means when you play against Stellenbosch, you might never know where he's going to be. So yeah, Tango. Oh, not Mukoko, but the Saint Limpopo striker with the blonde. Oh, okay, with the blonde hair. All right, fade. All right. We'll get to see them this weekend against Sundowns. Fade, Tango. Mr. Coach, do you have anything else to add? Reece Braithwaite, Andre de Jong.
I just want to touch on Reece one more time. I think it'll be a great acquisition, having not even seen him kick a ball. First of all, we do need left back cover. I think between Dion Horton and Dabas is too much workload for one season. Secondly, it works within our talent discovery. You know, I'm not going to get excited when Pirates want a player I've never seen before, because they clearly saw some, and so far they've been spot on. I mean, he's a 20-year-old. He's 20 this year. KB and I had a chat offline a couple of weeks ago. How can Shapa age at 20? Also boots we grand. I don't know if you're a Coco Melon. So he's in that how do I say that, peak
sweet
age.
Spot. Yeah,
sweet spot to join Pirates as a youngster. And again, that development system in Fetu has been around for decades, bro. And I won't even start to count the number of stars that have come from Cape Town Spurs / AX Cape Town.
They are the parameter, if you ask me. So, Mr. Coach, thank you very much for that one. Buffet to Cape Town Spurs. This is why nobody wants to get relegated. Take responsibility, guys. And you know, people are gonna take your players. Hopefully everything is being done lawfully grand though. That's the only thing I'm worried about. But if everything is lawful, then hey, hopefully it also doesn't discourage them from developing more players. We need more players developed. With that said, we're not gonna touch on it on this show, but let's not Kelvin Ardonko. Hey, Shumpetsu, we gotta go. But thank you for that one. Before we go, let's. I just wanted to remind you and the fans, the viewers. There was that interesting thing that was happening in the group. That's why it's important for you guys to just maybe go into press more. You'll see the description of the video. There's a WhatsApp group link there. That's where we have some discussions. And I didn't get to touch or to give my 2 cents on this thing. Yeah, School of Excellence. And if I ask you, you're going to go on a monologue. But yeah, there is a development that has happened with School of Excellence, guys. I think let's just try throw in a link into the actual description. And then, yeah, for the next brief or for the next chat live, can we please not forget to discuss that, because it is huge. It is actually huge. And it's funny because we're actually talking about Danny Jordan, and then that just pops up randomly. But yeah, guys, if you guys want to go research, there is some development involving Chipa Penges. Is it his wife or his daughter? Someone from the Chipa family has made some good inroads there at School of Excellence, and that is actually exciting news. It's he himself. I saw CV or something. That's his. Okay, no, I'm used to seeing his name as Chipa. So in my head, that's his real name. Okay, it's fine.
That's his government name.
It's fade. Yeah, no. All right, Danko. So let's get our facts straight on that one. Let's talk about it on the next show. Thank you everybody for tuning in and supporting. It's all good. It's all good. Calvin, thank you for joining us. You have been the #1 commenter for today's show. Danko, you get your flowers. And yeah, man, you are saying that you want Ndaba to be released, Mleleki, and Mosele to be released. Yeah, no. We are going towards January now. Thank you. Poll results here. We have 13 votes. 54% believe he should be a striker. 23% saying that number 10, and another 23% saying we don't need him. Quick math, Mr. Coach. Habak, highly 13 votes and 54% believe he should be a striker. That's how many? 6. Yeah, no, the connection is not, it's not calculating today. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. We'll be back with another brief when we are back with another brief. Danko Mapaganea. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe to be notified, and share with the rest of the Paganea so we can grow this community. Danko.